Good morning, IcfaiTech. I'm Nidhi Iyer.
And I'm Shreya Mehta, and we are representatives of the student official magazine of FST. So today we have a very honorable Vice-Chancellor Sir, Dr. L.S.Ganesh. So he's the first person we're going to interview for our magazine.
Thank you so much for doing this with us, sir. We have some very interesting questions lined up for you. If you're ready, may we begin?
So to pick up this interview, both of us were very curious about this question. We saw your performance at the Technofest last year, and the entire college was awestruck. So sir, how do you...
Less than a minute.
No sir, still.
Okay.
So how do you still find time to follow your hobbies and passions?
It's been years since I touched the guitar. That was a one-off incident. It so happened that Professor Narayana and other colleagues said, "Sir, since we know you play the guitar, why don't you go?" I said, "Okay, it's an opportunity." Even now, if you have a band, I don't mind joining with them and playing some music. I don't have any issues with it. I've done that over time. That's one of my passions.
That's wonderful, sir. So why did you choose teaching as a profession?
That's an interesting question. It goes back to 1975, month of May, June, the transfer period. It was a few weeks before emergency was declared in our country by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. I'm an alumnus of Vice-Chancellor. So 72 I joined, 75 was my third year, end of third year, that summer. So we were the first batch to go into practice school, as they call it. So this was the summer practice school. Later we would get into a full semester practice school, like what you are doing. I hope you know that our institute has modeled itself to a good extent on Vice-Chancellor practices. Okay. So at that time, we means my friends and I, we were a batch of about 150 students who were placed in a town called Bhiwani in Haryana. So there's a large textile mill of the Birlas there. And we did the summer that practice school there. And we were all put in hostels. And every week, every student had to give a sort of 5 to 10 minute seminar on what he or she observed from the factory. Just what did you observe? To keep us tight and busy also, so that we log our diaries and things. So at that time, after 4 or 5 such seminars, my close friends, there were 4 or 5 of them, one of them you may relate to in a different way. You would have heard of this singer called Sid Sriram,
Yes.
who was very popular in South Indian languages. His father Sriram and I were very close friends. And of course Sid has come home also with his sister Pallavi when I was in IIT Madras. So I know the family very well, including Sriram and a couple of other close friends, totally about 5 or 6 of us. They told me, "Ganesh, you are a natural teacher. We have been observing you and we feel that you should take up to teaching as a profession, as your career." I thought they were pulling my legs. In college we do that. So I took it as in a very light way. I didn't take it very seriously. But then a few days later, there were 3 of my professors from Vice-Chancellor who were who were coordinating the practice school. I remember them, Professor Gulati, Professor Arora, and Professor Khare. 3 of them were there. All 3 of them called me independently, separately, at different times, and said, "Ganesh, you are a very natural teacher." Then the switch went on in my mind. But by that time, I was very heavy into rock, blues and jazz, both as a guitarist and as a vocalist. I'm considered a very good vocalist, basically. So I said, fine. So it was a toss-off for me. And one of the good habits that I've had in my life is whenever I face very difficult situations, I write down everything. Because I know that there are limitations to the human mind. You can't churn everything only in the mind. Unless you have everything in front of you, then you have some good materials to churn in your mind. I did that, and then I asked myself some very difficult questions. LSG, what are you doing with your life? It was typical movie scene. Go in front of the mirror and you're talking to yourself. So, and then I realized that the 3 years were I was anything but a good student. Those 3 years. I used to be into music, other activities, sports, whatever it is. I'm okay in sports, I'm not great, but I've played many sports. Many, literally. At least at the hostel level, if you put it there. So I was anything but a good student. And that day I decided, since this kind of input has come in, I should take seriously consider, because my teachers are saying, so why should I waste out something which is natural? And that day, that evening, I decided, okay, I'm going to teach it. Okay? So that was the beginning. I come from a business family in Madras, basically. Then I went back to Madras after practice school. I told my Appa, this is what I want to do. What do you feel? Then he said, it's your life, you have to live your life, so take it. We will support you. It doesn't matter whether you earn or not. But if you get peace of mind and you enjoy what you're doing, that's all that matters. So for me, the toss-off was between music as a career and this thing. I was really good at that time, And I decided that it will be teaching for me, because it will keep my music alive still.
Yeah.
Whereas if I take music as a career, I can at best teach music,
Yeah.
And my problem was, I don't know music formally. I have never learnt music formally, more of an intuitive musician. So I said teaching is a safer bet, because music anyway will be there. That worked out. So that's the beginning. I asked a stupid question to my Appa, what about our family business? He gave a correct answer. He says, once you decide on teaching, it's none of your business after that. So that's all. I'm here now. And from my 4th and 5th year, it was a 5 years of engineering when I was a student. I was everything as a good student. I never cut classes, not even a single class. I used to be regular in my studies. I said, I'm not going to let any teacher mess up my learning,
Yes.
Not that all teachers are great. There are some who are truly great, some who are pathetic, but it's okay. That's the way life is. We go ahead. So I ensured that every day I used to come back, sit by myself for 2 to 3 hours, revise the lessons. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Until I was satisfied that I was thorough. So that happened. And my 4th and 5th year, I rose my CGPA from a pathetic 6.27 to 7.17. That's about a 1 point rise, almost a 1 point rise in last 4 semesters. And that included a 10. So then I knew that, look, the stuff is inside me.
Yeah.
I was messing myself up, not anybody else.
If you can do it. If you
Yeah,
want to, you can.
anybody. I'm not a brilliant student, but I became a very disciplined student. That was the difference. Nothing else. That had nothing to do with brilliance. It had everything to do with seriousness and discipline. So that's here I am.
It's an inspiring story, sir.
Yeah.
No, but that's important, because I want all students to know that momentum that I built
So,
from those last 4 semesters carried on into IIT Madras, where I went for my M.Tech. I fell in love with IC engines at that time. Somehow I liked the subject of internal combustion engines. And I got a seat in IC engine specialization in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. But since my family was in Madras, I opted to go to IIT Madras rather than go to Bangalore. I don't regret it, because in many ways it's worked out. And that momentum which I built helped me, because this is an important word. Your academic momentum is something that you can build, you should build for yourself. It's your life. Nobody else lives your life. Okay? So, and it's better that you learn early. In my case, I was blessed to learn my lesson very early. 1975, I was just 20 years old, and this thing struck, and it has worked. So that's very, very important. So I graduated with a 9.86 from IIT Madras and a medal.
Wow.
Now that was the momentum.
Yeah.
It was very simple.
start early,
Yeah.
basically. So I'm sure you've experienced some rebellious students in law.
Now you have all kinds of students. They have very, very wide variety. But that's one of the joys of being a teacher. No?
Yeah.
You're always with young people who change every year. So, and that is unmatched as a career for me. If I look back, I think somewhere I was guided by whatever forces there are into a very nice path in my life. That's what I would say. I have no regrets whatsoever.
That's amazing. That's what everybody needs
Yeah.
to hear when they're older.
Yeah, I have fun with what I'm doing.
That's a dream, that's a goal for many people. Yeah. So, is there any particular student that you'd like to tell us about, some incident that was very funny in your career?
Funny, I don't know. Funny, yes. My own classmate is a bloody rascal, actually. And, it's not fair to name him. We were classmates in mechanical engineering. Okay. And he was doing a course on heat transfer with a chemical engineering professor, Vice-Chancellor. So, he said, look, this professor doesn't read answer papers properly. So I said, come on, don't fool me. Well, this was my 4th year. I said, don't fool me. He said, no, Ganesh, I will have a bet, okay, that he doesn't read. I said, okay, what's the bet? So we used to have a small restaurant called Volvo in Vice-Chancellor.
Okay.
So I said, I'll take you for a treat there if you win. If I win, you take me for a treat. It's a good restaurant, okay? So there was a question, how do you conserve heat in a furnace, That was the chemical engineering question, basically. Chemical engineering also involves heat transfer. So I said, fine. So this guy writes an answer, And it was ridiculous because he showed me the correct answer. So I lost my mind. He says first, he gives some regular answers and then follows up, put a sweater over the furnace. So I said, what the hell? And he says, build a long exhaust pipe to Pakistan.
Wow.
So I was shocked. And then he writes about what Nawab Pataudi did in cricket in the answer. In the answer, literally.
Wow.
I said, what the hell? And so that was one of the funniest incidents I went through, I can't forget that. So
Like some level of creativity to you.
no, he did that and he won his bet and I took him for a treat. So that's the thing. That was a funny incident I remember very well.
Great.
So, on a serious note, like our generation has been experiencing some global issues in the last few years. So, do you have any mantra that you'd like to share with the coming generation on how to, stay strong?
See, the point is, your generation is very different from what I've come through.
Yes.
I'm a child of box radio, transistor radio. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Then dial phones, then punch phones. I hope you got it.
Yes, yes.
Refrigerator was a luxury in those years in many families. Okay, don't talk about air conditioners. Okay, so that was the world I came. Black and white TV. Then color TV from the Asian Games 1982, but single channel, then, so you understand what kind of technologies I've come through, And then of course today I am in the age of smartphones and everything. So your generation is very different because of your exposure to sources of information through technology and very diverse and very large base of information that you can access, You are spoiled for choice.
Great.
To the extent that psychology will tell you that when you're spoiled for choice, your choice system breaks down. Your attention spans will come down. Automatically your attention spans will come down because your subconscious mind will start ruling you. But here is where youngsters should take care. So my first lesson is, whatever you're doing, control yourself with your purpose in your mind. You have to set your purpose, not somebody else. It's your life. There's no point in telling Appa told me, Amma told me, neighbor told me and all. That doesn't make any sense. You set your purpose, go ahead and keep to your purpose. What does this mean on the ground? It's very simple. What is your purpose as a student? Tell me.
To learn and build.
Absolutely. I'm happy that you didn't say to study. Because students confuse between learning and studying. Studying is a process. Learning is the outcome. Are you getting it? So you learn. Is your purpose. That's why you became a student. I always ask people this. If you print a visiting card, what will your visiting card tell today? Share, you tell. What will your visiting card state? Come on.
So some personal information maybe.
Huh?
Some personal information.
Oh, wait. I think I have that.
So,
Here. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'll show you something. Here are 2 visiting cards with me. Okay, I'm just taking them at random. I took them because I had them with me S. Anil Kumar, MBA class of 2009, Chicago Booth School of Business. Here is another visiting card, Fei Chen, PhD candidate, MIT Sloan School. Okay, I don't know these guys. I met them sometime. Obviously, I can't even recall them. Many years. That's why I have their visiting card with me. So, and it says Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Sloan School of Management, room E52-507, 50 Memorial Drive, Cambridge, Massachusetts 02140, USA, telephone number, email, etc. Likewise here. Okay. Now, who asked Fei Chen to become a PhD candidate?
He said.
Huh? Do you agree he chose?
He chose.
So, Shreya and
Nidhi.
Nidhi.
Yes.
Nidhi, who asked you to become a student?
No, he said.
But don't give me this bull that my Alpha told me I'm on. That's okay, it's true. But that's bullshit because you're adults.
Sir.
You're above 18?
Sir.
Huh? So you, by Constitution of India, you're adults.
Yes.
So you can't give me this bullshit that somebody else told me that so I'm here, etc. Okay? So let's keep it very straight. Since you chose to be a student, that's your purpose. You have to answer the question whether you are following your purpose that you set out to. That's a question only you can answer.
Yes, sir.
And I'm afraid that most people, a vast majority of a generation is goofing up big time on this question. Because your mental model of a student is very different from what it should be.
Sir.
Like mine was in my first 3 years. But now when I look back, this is the best thing I can share with you guys. If you don't follow your purpose, you're screwing up your life. To that extent. That's all I can say. To that extent, you're messing. I'm not saying you're messing up forever. But to that extent, you're troubling yourself. That's all.
I understand, sir.
And always it's a good thing to have a very good academic record because that's an evidence of your character, not your knowledge and skills. Because anybody who sees that will say, okay, this person has been true to purpose. Which is what you will look at when you recruit somebody.
True. That's very true.
That's all. Just set your purpose, follow your purpose at that station in life. And you will have multiple purposes at any point in time, what we call dharma in our society. You have a dharma to your parents, you have a dharma to your siblings, you have a dharma to your friends, to your teachers, to your institution. Just balance it out. It will happen. Once your core dharma is set, everything else will fall into place like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
No, it will. And I am giving you some evidence. In my 4th and 5th years, because I was pursuing my dharma, I actually found more time for my guitaring and everything. Seriously. I don't know where the time came from, but it came. And no stress, because I was thorough.
Yeah. Be disciplined, be dedicated.
Set purpose, follow purpose, pursue purpose. Everything else will fall into place automatically.
We hold you to that, sir, hopefully.
Yeah.
That is a lesson not for 2 of you, but for
Sir, yeah.
all students, including these fellows who stand. Of course, the purpose is also to have fun.
Sir.
Learning doesn't mean you learn all the time. Huh? You'll become mad. So have fun also, but balance it out. You're the best judge.
Sir, could you share this, how you got your first job and what was it like?
That's interesting. When I finished my BE honors, I went for some interviews, but I bombed. It didn't really work out well. Okay, it didn't work out well. But at IIT Madras, it was very interesting because of my CGPA. And everybody knew that I was a damn good student and versatile in many things, including music, sports, etc. I used to play cricket, shuttle, volleyball, basketball, tennis, swimming, you name it, table tennis, everything. I've done it. And I won some prizes also here and there. So that way, okay. And I would say that I had 4 job offers. Okay. When I was through 1978 November, the placement season started in IIT Madras, MTech. Okay. And I would say that companies which are very attractive, the following. One was the Parry Group, Murugappa Group. The other was Southern Petrochemicals, which is now having a hard time. Speak. At that time, it was very big. It was a huge giant. The third one was Shaw Wallace. Shaw Wallace is a very interesting example which I have to share with you because it was a very difficult choice I had to make. That interview is something I have to describe for all of you. I was playing football in the field in IIT Madras, inter-hostel match and all. And you know what it is like in Madras when you're playing football. Madras only 3 seasons, hot, hottest. I was sweating like a pig, and dirty, also fallen down, everything. I was in my shorts and t-shirt, and suddenly some of my friends came. I could see them coming outside the play field, and they were waving to me, and something they were saying. So they were far away, and I just told my captain, "Okay, give me a couple of minutes." The captain said, "Okay, hold on." That means okay, Tamil go. No, I said, "Okay, fine." So I went, and these guys immediately they were animated. My wingmates. So they said, "LSG, Shaw Wallace has come for placements," and they've opened it up to our department also. I was in the Department of Applied Mechanics, in my masters. And earlier they did not open. Then the company decided to open. It was already about 5:30. And I said, and they said, "You have to go now." I said, "How?" The way I am. I'm sweating like a pig, I'm dirty, and I'm all frizzled up. I mean, why do you want? I said, "No, you just go." They said, "You know the placement officer, he also knows you." Placement officer knew me. He knew me as a very good student. So I went to the placement office without going to my room. No wash, nothing. Straight took my bicycle, went to the placement office. Said, "Yes, Ganesh, what do you want?" Of course, he was speaking in Tamil. He was a Tamil speaking person. "What do you want?" I said, "Sir, this is what I was told by my friends." "Yeah, that's true. They opened up. Sir, I want to try." And he said, "Are you sure? I mean, is this the way you want to present yourself?" Okay. He even said, "Even if you want to, I may not allow you because it's not the way I want an IIT student to present himself before an interview board." Then I said, "Sir, you know me, sir. Don't go by the dress, but go by the stuff which I hold." I was very thorough because my earlier summer internship with Madras Refineries was A class. I learned so much there about engineering, complete works, and I was damn good. So even those people said, "This is one of the finest students we've had for internship." Usually people, they want their behinds when they go for internships, I was very serious to learn, momentum. So then he said, "Okay, Ganesh, since it's you, I know you'll do very well on the other side, but take care." So I knocked the door. I just showed my face a bit and said, "May I come in?" So there was a Sardarji and probably a lady and one more. 3 people were there actually. And the Sardarji said, "Yeah, how?" Of course, he said, "How?" And I stepped in and they were shocked. They said, "What animal has come?" So I said, "Sir, please allow me. I came to know that you've opened up to applied mechanics only about 10 to 15 minutes ago, so I'm here. I took the permission of our placement officer. He advised me not to come in this way, but I want you to test me." Okay. So that's why I've come in. Please don't look at my dress, but please do give me an opportunity. Very politely. And they said, "Okay, sit down." They started pelting me with questions, all hard tech questions, And I came out with flying colors because I was thorough, absolutely thorough, And at the end, Sadaji shook hands and says, "Okay, Ganesh, when are you joining?" So that job was very interesting because in 1978, November, and this thing happened, or December, maybe the changeover time. A salary of 4,500 rupees per month was not a joke. Okay? It's something like 2.5 lakhs per month now. Okay? Now, if you count it from 79 to now, you can easily do the calculations and you'll see what I'm talking about. It was the highest paying job for an engineer at that time. I was in a dilemma. Shaw Wallace is an alcohol producing company. I don't know what they're doing now. So they said, "Okay, this is the job." I talked to my parents also. My father said, "Look, you wanted to be a teacher." I said, "Appa, that's true, but let me have at least a year's experience before I get into teaching. I don't have any doubts about teaching. No doubts at all. But let me step into the world of work for some time and learn another worldly experience which will help me. So I said, okay, it's your life. You do it, no problems. So that was sorted out. Then came an advertisement from Air India for aircraft maintenance engineer, graduate engineer. I applied and I got it. Because as I said, the interview, they were really impressed. They said, you're damn good. Okay. As an engineer, you're damn good. I said, fine. So I went through the interview, they selected me as a graduate engineer. And that was a stipend of 700 rupees. I chose Air India over showers. Okay, because it was not the money. Because as an engineer, I knew that the aircraft is a fantastic machine to learn from. Are you getting it? So much of engineering can learn from aircraft. So then I took Air India. I topped their course there completely. I set unbeatable records there in terms of their tests and all, whatever they did. So many of the trainers there used to like me a lot because they found me as a very serious engineer. Basic lesson is this: when you pursue purpose, world respects you. Automatically the world respects you. Are you getting it?
Of course.
Automatically. You don't need to seek that respect. It will respect. So that happened. And one of the most interesting things, how long do you want the interview now? I hope I'm not bugging you guys. Okay, please sit down now, please. Please sit down, please sit down. Okay, please sit down, please. Okay. Then on my first day of training, I went to the hangar because I wanted to be up close to it because jumbo jets are there. I think it was Emperor Kanishka or something. Because they used to name all the jumbo jets after emperors. Raja Chola, Kanishka, Ashoka, Chandragupta, etc. So that was, I think it was Emperor Kanishka. Okay. Then I went and I saw. I was in the hangar. First day. And this was very interesting because the morning they just started introduction, said, you guys do what you want the rest of the day. Little did my friends realize that they were actually observing us. The trainers were observing us throughout the day. Okay. So intuitively I knew what was happening. Intuitively. So I had my diary with me and I was taking notes as usual, that momentum. I was taking down notes and all. Straight I went into the hangar because very anxious, to see the aircraft, go touch and feel it and all, because we've seen it only from far away. So I went there and there were 4 people near the wheel of the aircraft. And they caught me at the distance. He said, "How?" And believe me, for 20-25 minutes I was ragged by them. So ragging doesn't stop in your college. That day they took me down very badly because first thing they did was one of the guys handed me some some kind of a lever, whatever it is. Pagdo. I hadn't seen it earlier. Kya hai? By then I had introduced, I said, Bits Pilani, IIT Madras. Kya hai? Pata nahi sir. Ye sala IIT se aaya. That was the beginning of the fun, no? And I said, what the hell? I sensed that, okay, they're going to literally bring me down. They said, chalao. I said, sir, kahan chalao? I didn't know what it was a metered spanner. Are you getting it? It was a meter or not? There was a meter. And I had not seen that kind of a spanner before. I could make out it was some kind of a spanner, but I couldn't connect. See, at that time I was also tense. Are you understanding? Because I didn't realize that you could be ranked after your MTech. So I said, okay, this is crazy. I said, kahan chalao? Again, yes, IIT. I said, okay. And then they told me, okay, this is where you set the meter. They taught me. You set the meter like this and it will stop, it will start clicking and rotating after it reaches the torque. Aviation industry, you have to meet standards. Pakka. You cannot do even a nanometer this side, that side. Are you understanding? You cannot do that. It's not allowed. So that was my first 20-25 minutes. after all that happened, Nidhi will appreciate this.
Okay.
One of those four rascals, they took me for tea, like usual, no? We became friends and all. They're actually good friends later. They used to say hi. They used to call me LSG. Hi LSG, how are you? They used to ask me, how do I call you? They said, most friends refer to me as LSG, so you call me LSG. I said, fine. They took me tea. And one of those rascals is telling me, Sir, ninga Tamila. You understand? I was bloody angry, you know. I said, you bastard, I mean, you were speaking Tamil and you know I am a Tamil and you're also ragging me. Of course, in my mind, you know. So I was just thinking, okay, get down in Central Station, I'll break your legs. It was just in my mind, I didn't tell her. And of course, we became good friends later. No, it's just to tell you how life is very, very interesting, you know. I was watched.
Yes.
Thing. And the next day they promptly asked, what did you do, what did you do? Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
And when it came to me, I said, Ganesh, we know what you did. So we know what you went through. They were watching everything. Everything was being watched. In fact, I think one of these four guys must have also reported to the claim. Are you understanding? So all that has happened. So that was something very interesting. So I took the Air India job. 1 year I was there. I was getting trained to be a maintenance engineer. I really liked the job. I learned a lot. And come out of it. Then I decided to go for my PhD in IIT Madras, back again. But my parents were aged by that time. I was born very late to my father. Among my relatives, many of them don't know that my parents are a son. You know, I was born that late to my father, okay, and mother actually. So that's what happened. Then I did my PhD. 80, I joined the PhD. 84, I completed my thesis. 83, I got married. So that's it.
Great story.
Yeah.
I hope it was.
It is wonderful to hear. Yeah. We would like to know, like, before technology was invented, like the entire your childhood time, what would you do to keep yourself engaged?
No, what do you mean technology was invented? What do you mean by technology?
That's what I mean.
I mean, when you say technology, it's not computers and mobile phones.
True.
Sir.
Yes.
I mean, that stand is also technology.
Yeah.
So don't forget that. The blazer you're wearing is technology.
Yes.
So technology was invented long ago. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe before the mainstream, like mobile phones and
So you're talking of the
entertainment.
contemporary
How
technology.
people spend time nowadays. I mean, I'm sure.
No, earlier days it was sports, outdoor games and this thing. But nowadays it's very different among students.
Then I was thinking, like, were you a mischievous kid or a very obedient child?
No, I was not mischievous. I mean, maybe my childhood I must have had, but at least my mother has told me you are not very mischievous.
Okay.
You were okay as a child, not a problem child. Okay. I had my tantrums as a child, you know.
Yes.
All children have tantrums.
Yes.
I want that toy. You come in. That happened. It's okay.
Of course.
That way. But otherwise, I was not considered a mischievous child.
Okay.
I've always liked music, so I started getting into music very early on.
So nowadays, like, technology has changed so much. So what's one invention that you cannot live without now? Something that's, newly come out.
Today, cannot live without.
So,
Cannot live without, I'm not so sure. I'm sure we can live without any technology. It's possible. There are communities which are outside all technologies. I'm not like that. I don't mean to say we're going back into the cave ages. It's not the point. I mean, one technology I find very convenient and useful is the mobile phone.
of course.
I agree. It's very convenient and useful. Computer and mobile phone. Other than that, I won't say there's anything which I can't live without. Even this, I won't say I cannot live without. I'll be bruised badly, but it's okay. I can live.
The brilliant way to put it, actually. Yeah.
No, come on. You know something? I don't have WhatsApp. I don't have Instagram. I don't have Twitter. I don't have Facebook. I didn't get into social media except LinkedIn.
Of course.
I didn't go into any social media. In fact, 2 weeks ago, she would know I was cyber attacked.
Oh yes, sir.
I was cyber attacked. I fell into the trap, and it was 24 hours of torture for me
Sir.
because I was on Skype. I've never used Skype. I told the bastard I don't use Skype. He says no. He was a stiff. It was terrible. It was a terrible thing because I know you guys are much smarter than me, but you should tell your elders at home because they are attacking old people and women. And the points of attack is very simple. You'll get an automated call. In US it's Amazon. In India it's FedEx. you know, you get it. I got a FedEx call saying there's a parcel with which you're connected. If you wish to have more details, press 1, press 2, press 3, etc. I didn't realize at that time. This is taking you back about 3 Mondays. I pressed 1 promptly. Okay? And it took me to a human voice. It says, I'm so and so. I'm a FedEx employee. This is my employee number. This is regarding a parcel which you have sent to Taiwan. It's blocked by Mumbai Singh here. I asked why. I have done nothing.
Yeah.
There's no parcel that I sent to anyone. At least of all Taiwan. I don't know anybody from Taiwan. I said, no sir, it's under your name. Sir, did you pass your ID anywhere? I said, yeah, we go to hotels, so we give our ID cards, either vehicle license or other card. ID we have to give in a hotel, so it must have been compromised. So I think your ID has been compromised, sir. Somebody has used your ID. And they are criminals. If you wish, I'll connect you to Mumbai Cybercrime straight away. Okay? They connected me to Mumbai Cybercrime. Then there's another bastard there who, who was a bad cop. I said, what's your name? I said, my name is Ganesh. What are you doing? I'm the Vice-Chancellor of this university here. He said, do you know you're a suspect? Suspected of what? You know, the parcel that you sent to this has 20 grams of MDMA, which is ecstasy, a hard drug, banned in India. And we can arrest you without a bail also, without warrant. You don't need a warrant according to our law. Do you know that? I said, I don't know the law. I know it's a banned substance, but I don't know the law. You come on Skype now. I said, I have never used Skype. I will teach you. You install Skype. Okay? I install everything I follow. He said, you be on Skype. We will not be able to reveal our identity because we are from the cyber security. So you be on Skype and we will watch you completely. I said, look, I have nothing to do with this. I was teaching in IIT Madras. I've been a professor. I don't care who the hell you are. For me, you are a suspect. If you want, you can talk to the deputy commissioner. I'll take you. That guy was the good cop. He is talking. Okay, sir, I understand. Don't worry, sir. If you are innocent, we will leave you. But we have to go through the process. We cannot avoid it. It's national law. So all that happened. 24 hours I was watched. Monday morning to Tuesday morning. Including night sleeping, changing my underwear, everything they were watching on Skype. It was a torture for me. Much later, thanks to some friends, I sent messages. Why have you not informed the Hyderabad Cyber Police? They gave a smart answer. We don't want anybody else to know because you and your family life is in danger because of the nature of the thing. You're dealing with the drug world. So look at this. You are connected with drugs, possible terrorist funding, possible Hawala transactions. Point number 2, your ID is compromised. Point number 3, you and your family are in mortal danger. Now, how do I get out of that? Tell me, what would you do, Swati? If somebody corners you that way, the moment you say your family is in danger, what would you do, Swati? You break down. Are you understanding? I broke down. Now I know what to do. I am telling you, the lesson is simple. If you get an automated call, don't take it. If you take it by any chance, go to the human voice, tell them, you give me your identity, which I will check with due diligence from my side. Only after that I will respond to you. If you don't want that, go take a walk. This is the best way to handle it. This is the best way to handle the fellows.
Such elaborate plans.
No, they are very. In fact, one of the finest financial advisors to the US, a lady, she lost $50,000. Amazon fraud. Same damn thing. Connection with drugs, possible terrorist funding, and possible illegal monetary transactions. Family is in danger. It's very difficult. Very difficult. You know. So I fell. So obviously mobile phone. And that guy was pissed off. I must tell you, this is where when you do your dharma, something helps you. He said, show me your bank account. I showed my bank account. savings bank account. You know how God saved me? At that time when I showed him, my balance was 1,201 rupees 78 paise. That guy must have been pissed off, actually. He said, this is what I came for. What other accounts do you have? What other account deposits, etc.? Show me. I said, here are the accounts. This is the thing. If you ask me to break a deposit, I won't break a deposit. I told him firmly, I will not break a deposit. You can do what you want. I told him that very firmly. Then he understood. So all this happened. And I learned from the State Bank of India IIT Madras manager that one of our recently retired faculty lost 40 lakhs. Same scam, FedEx. 40 lakhs now. I'm sharing all this so that you teach others. Others should learn from my mistake. That's learning. So this is what happened. So now you know technology is. So you know why I said that? He was very upset when I said I don't have WhatsApp, I don't have Twitter, I don't have Facebook, I don't have Instagram. He must have been thinking, what is this creature? No, without all these things in the mind. I said, nothing doing. So this is what happened.
It's It's obviously very scary. And like, have you ever experienced the story of?
Time is up. Hey, tell me that. Give me a warning.
We're flexible with it, so it's up to you.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Have you ever like traveled abroad? Are there any experiences you'd like to share?
No, I've been to Germany and obviously countries in few of the countries. A little bit of Switzerland, a little bit of Austria, a little bit of Czech Republic, Prague, one of the finest cities I've seen. Been with my wife also, and been to the US a little bit. That's about it. US I've traveled because 2015, because some of my family and my wife's family are there. My niece and nephew, and my niece lives in New Jersey. In New Jersey you can find Telugu boards. I'm serious. You find boards in Telugu, and because very heavy Indian population, very heavy Telugu population. It's fine. It's very happy, when you see that. And then we went to, I think, where was that? Houston. Yeah. My wife's cousin brother is there. They're very close family. We spent some time there. Then came to Chicago. My nephew was there. Then went to Atlanta, where my wife's another, cousin sister is there. So we spent time. But it's not a world I would like to live in. In the US, without a car, you're dead.
Yes.
It's very difficult without a car. Very, very difficult. India is heaven, I can tell you.
No, sir, I shared views like
So I've been there.
Sari jahan se acha Hindustan.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful land, very beautiful in many ways. If we can make it even more beautiful. That's what I would say. In fact, I must tell you, I didn't take a passport for many years because I never wanted to travel abroad. I'm serious. I took my first passport in 1993 when I was 38 years old. When I was literally forced to go to China. Because I was part of an international ocean institute. I was one of the coordinators. There was some major program in China in a place called Hangzhou near Shanghai. I had to be there. I had to be there for 3 weeks. Last week I couldn't come there. I was asked to get back to India. Otherwise I would have gone to Beijing and seen the Great Wall, etc. I couldn't join. I finished my 3 weeks and came back. So China I've been to. Because China today is much different compared to 1993. All that happened. So 93 was the first time I took a passport. And interestingly, I did not renew my passport in 2003. Because I never wanted to go abroad. 2013, Germany trip came. My very close friend, he told me, Ganesh, they've been asking for you, that university. They know you are a good teacher. Please go. It's not fair. After they've asked you if you go, it's not courtesy. Then my daughter, first daughter, I have 2 daughters. She told me, Appa, who is asking you to go? I want Amma to go, therefore you go. She checkmated me. She said, look, let Amma, no, why do you spoil her? Then I renewed my passport, 2003. Okay, 2013.
Traveling is
And my passport expired 2023. I'm not renewing. So I've never been enamored of it. Okay, see that it's fun. But sare jahan se acha. So I will say that. Any day I would say. We are a great country, beautiful in many ways. So that's it.
It's an interesting question I have for you. There was a movie to be made about your life. Who would you want to play your character in the movie and why?
In my, I don't know whether somebody will be mad enough to play my character. I don't know.
They'd be honored to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe one of these guys who's listening. Probably. I mean, it's a very crazy life. Like, go back to my childhood, all my friends were slum children. At the end of my street, there was a slum. All of them were slum children, actually. Okay? Very good friends. Actually. They're nice kids. My parents never had a problem because they are very equitable. They don't bring this damn stuff and all. Nothing like that. My paternal grandmother was very orthodox. She bothered very much, but my parents were very cool. So that happened. So that way, it's been very, very different, the kind of life. I think I've been blessed with wonderful family. That's it. I don't know who would play. I'm not going to any actor. So that's it.
So, if there was one advice you could give the up and coming generation
I told
of
you already.
leaders,
So like
like
leadership
the
advice.
leadership advice, kind of.
This is best leadership advice.
Yeah.
Set purpose, pursue purpose.
Mentor.
Yeah.
Automatically others will respect you. And we need to build a world where everybody respects everybody. And everybody is a leader.
Yes.
You don't need a single leader.
Yeah.
I am a great believer in what's known as autopoiesis, the self-organizing and self-regulating systems. I'm a great fan of that.
Will definitely.
And it happens. It
Yeah.
happens.
Okay.
It happens. And there is hard evidence that it happens.
That's right.
So it's not a hypothesis.
Yes.
That's the advice I give. Search, find the purpose, set purpose, pursue purpose.
And it's
Yeah.
embrace it. So, is there any social cause you very strongly believe in and you want to make an impact on?
Sure.
Any particular
It's need not be people. See, I believe the human species has completely messed up this planet to a very large extent. May not be irretrievably, but we are close to disaster, as anybody would tell you. Okay. So I think the human species must learn to save itself from itself. This is point number one. Okay. Very often we don't reflect upon ourselves, We want to look at the rest of the world. This is a tendency. So we have to do that. The other thing is, I believe that we are being very, very insensitive towards other creatures. Generally, I don't like to kill anything. In general. So even mosquitoes, I swat only after they bite. I don't, I'm very careful. Once you bite, you attack me, now you get a problem. You didn't know whom you were attacking. So then I say, okay, you go to your next Janma, that's all. So that's the way I do it. I don't like to kill. I don't do that. So we have to be, and another thing is, human beings have not understood what the loss of a particular species could do to the ecosystem. We've not understood that clearly. Okay? There are already many things happening where the top level predators are being extinguished. And there are consequences happening down the line. Okay? By the way, I teach systems thinking because I believe it is superior to science. I've got into battles with many others. I would any day hold the view that philosophically, the philosophy of systems thinking is definitely superior to the philosophy of science. It's not that I'm not a scientist. I am to some extent a scientist. I've had running battles with several people, including about the concept of God, etc., which I think looks like it's getting settled now. Looks like. I can share the mails later with you.
Of course.
Sometime. Okay. I'm a believer. Okay. And my concept of God is different. That's all. Okay. Then I would say that we have to be careful with the whole system as such. Because in systems, you send a signal somewhere, it actually travels everywhere. But it takes time. That's why we, even in chaos theory, we have the butterfly effect.
Yes.
You would have heard of the butterfly effect. So that's the hard evidence that we are not understanding the complexity of the world we are living. And still we are messing up. So that we should be careful. So I believe that non-violence is a good principle. But I would not agree completely with Mahatma Gandhi, because I think he forced a lot of mental violence on Kasturba. This is my observation. So I would say Gandhi became Mahatma more because of Kasturba rather than Gandhi. Rather than Mohandas Karamchand. I hope you got it. I'm not saying Gandhi is not great. Gandhi is truly great. Okay, you cannot deny that. He's truly great. But I think we are forgetting Kasturba's role in Gandhi's image. And we all know Gandhi was a public success and a private disaster. His own son filed a case against him in court. People should read about that.
Of course, yeah.
There are lots of adverse criticism about Gandhi. Okay, he's a good man overall. We were not in his family. Lucky us. But we are part of the country that he has definitely played a very big role for. We can't deny that. It's unfair to deny that role that he has played. Many people deny that role. It is not fair. You can't discount that.
You should know both sides.
I visited Sabarmati last year. It's a wonderful experience, Sabarmati Ashram. Truly elevating experience. That's the thing.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We have 2 more questions.
No,
Bonus questions.
so you don't have time.
Yeah. So any advice you'd like to give?
Any final words to our readers? Fall purpose.
Search purpose, set purpose, identify purpose, set it, pursue purpose. Everything else will fall into place.
Golden words.
And purpose is not unidimensional, it is multidimensional. That's all. Then
Also,
everything-
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Which is your favorite band, sir?
Me?
Yes, sir.
There's nothing like one favorite band. I like many bands.
Hmm.
For example, genre-wise, if you look at progressive rock, I like to a good extent Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Yes. Have you heard Yes?
No, I've heard Pink Floyd's Dogs and
Yes.
No. Pink Floyd. You
Time.
Time is in Dark Side of the Moon.
That side of the moon.
Yeah, that's a great album. One of the greatest albums.
Yes.
Then Yes is another progressive rock group. Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Okay.
Then Moody Blues.
Yes.
Here are Spandau Ballet. They're all fantastic rock groups. You sit down, I'll tell you a lot about that. That's something which I can. You would love the kind of music. There's some very good music. I have a very, very, very large collection of music, running into thousands and thousands of albums.
I listen mostly to new metal and rock.
I somehow have not related well to the more modern versions of music, whether it's rap or this thing, because I feel they're talking, they're not singing.
That's right.
So I'm not against it. It's not correct. I am not able to relate to it, that's all. So that's,
Yes.
so then pure rock, there are fantastic groups again. Uriah Heep, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, AC/DC, so many of them.
Yes.
So it's not one like that. Grand Funk Railroad.
Yes, Grand Funk Railroad.
Rock and roll, there are plenty.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili, much later. You're talking of another generation.
But almost like
No. Red Hot Chili Peppers and all this. They're grandchildren. So when you come down the line, they are much later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like many guitarists also.
What was your favorite guitarist, sir?
If you ask me style-wise, I really like Steve Vai. You've heard Steve Vai?
Steve Vai from which band?
Steve Vai? No. He is the band.
Oh, okay.
Steve Vai. You search Google Uncle.
Yes.
He's fantastic. There are many others. Steve Vai, I think Richie Sambora, many of them are there. What's his name? Van Halen.
Van Halen, yes.
Van Halen. So many of them.
Right.
Steve Lukather. Have you heard Steve Lukather?
No, sir. I've only heard of Van Halen.
Toto, have you heard?
Toto.
Steve Lukather is the lead guitarist for Toto.
Okay. Yes.
Toto is also one of my favorite. Fantastic.
Yes.
We check them out, sir.
Huh?
We check them
No,
out.
worth it. You guys should. I'm sure you will start liking that kind of music. whenever you run the festival, to play some of this background.
Yes, sir, definitely.
So expose people. In fact, many people of my age group, no, they literally, when you go through YouTube, they'll call modern music as shit. Many people who are used to the older. I will not call it shit, but I say, look, I can't relate to it. I'm very clear about this. I can't relate to it, but I won't call it bad. Because I respect others who respect it. So that's all. So that's where I am. But I'll expose you to a lot of the other music.
Yes.
Have you heard Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young?
No, sir.
You really need to. You listen to very good music. I'm serious.
Thanks.
Come over. Huh?
Yes, sir.
You come out to my quarters. I'll play a lot of this music.
Sir, remember on the stage.
That was Doors.
Precious.
Okay.
That was the Doors. I played a small song called Road. This is a rock and roll song. Roadhouse Blues.
I know, sir. Roadhouse Blues. I
And
listened to that.
here when they had the party, I played a Dave Mason number called Feelin' Alright. They had a alumni party here.
Yes, you're right, sir.
So I played a song.
So for Triti, would you mind like playing some songs?
If you're bad, you
have a
sing
band.
on me.
Of
Yes,
course,
sir, you
sir.
But you have to practice, huh?
Ah, yes, sir.
For one song, I'll practice at least 5-6 hours. You have to tell them that.
Yes.
Okay, otherwise no point.
I agree, sir.
No point in substandard stuff
Of
going on.
course.
I agree, sir.
And I know how much substandard I am. When you're practicing, tell me, I'll be.
Ah, yes, sir.
Sir, you have any films to suggest?
Films.
Yes.
I'm not a great film this thing. I watch films, but I'm not a. I like films where your brain has to be out. So I like those kind of movies. Don't put on your brains and thinking, Okay, enjoy them. It's not that I like films.
So what about books?
Books, I read hell of a lot of non-fiction, as you will see. Hell of a lot of non-fiction.
Which book would you suggest, sir?
There's no one book.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
Which do you think is the best book you've ever read?
nothing like that. Nothing like best book I ever read.
But
Like I like rock groups, I like many books. There's no single thing I can't.
Top 5.
It is also very. See, I'll tell you because context becomes important. No?
Yeah.
Which context are you talking of?
Yeah.
It becomes very, very important. Okay, in that sense, I'm saying. See, for example, I'll recommend something. It was written much earlier. One of the books that definitely had an influence on me was a book by Alvin Toffler called Future Shock. It's an old book, but was a very good prediction of things to come made in the 70s. Another book was Limits to Growth. Okay, it's a very famous book. These are some very interestingly, all of you should read a book called The Economy of Permanence. It's a non-fiction. It's by a person called J.C. Kumarappa, a Guardian. Good students should read that. Engineers should read that.
Economy of?
The Economy of Permanence.
The Economy of Permanence.
J.C. Kumarappa. I'm serious.
Yes,
It's a small book, but the ideas are brilliant. Brilliant ideas.
Yes.
So,
Keep them in mind.
that's it.
And sir, can you repeat the thing what we were talking about other day? About the poster organisms. Heart is more greater than brain, brain is more greater than.
Oh shit! That one! Oh my god! You wanted that?
Yes, sir.
Again, Latif?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a dirty one, but so I will share it. Since
I was searching for that, but I did not
No,
find it,
you try for it.
Yes.
It was a poster. Unfortunately, the poster I've thrown out. This was with me in my Krishna hostel room in IcfaiTech. I put a big poster. So it seemed there was a battle between all the parts of the body as to who was the boss. Okay, so the brain said, "I am the boss." Okay, you can actually quote me.
Of course, sir.
The brain said, "I'm the boss because I control all of you." The heart said, "Okay, you may be the controller, but if I don't supply you blood, you're gone." You know. Then the arteries and veins said, "If we don't supply and drain you, you're gone, brain. So don't tell you're the boss." Okay. It's because of us you exist. The stomach said, "Look, unless I'm going to process, none of you will get the blood." Okay. So like that it goes on. So all the parts started, hands, legs, you understand, no, kidneys, liver, gut, etc. One part just didn't open its mouth at all. It just shut up. And very soon all the other parts realized who was the boss. Are you understanding? The part that shut up. Because the entire system went groggy, down, diseased. Are you understanding? And that part was the asshole. So to be the boss, you have to be an asshole. Yes.
Wow, that's interesting analogy.
I literally remember that.
I've been searching for that, sir, but I did not get it. So, I want to make it a record.
No, you can just anyway state it.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Anyway.
Sir, I'd like to ask one.
Yeah, sure.
What's your comfort food, sir? Like,
What's your?
comfort food? Like,
Food, huh?
Yeah.
I'm a foodie.
I know I can sense
I
it.
paid the price very heavily, Swati. Last about 2-3 years, I paid the price because I became heavily diabetic.
Oh, yeah.
But then I learned to control myself. I told you, I write down. I kept a log of it. I'll share it with you. I have an Excel file in my laptop where I've logged what I ate every day, when I ate, how much I ate, and how I ate. Everything was logged in. And I could just by diet, exercise, and sleep, rest, I could bring down my HbA1c from 10.3 to 6.7 over 8 months. Just this, no medicines, zero medicines.
That's inspiring. Actually, a lot of people.
I've done that. I'm living proof. And I'll show you that Excel file also.
Sure.
I shared with my doctor and I said, sir, we can write a paper out of it. I'm okay, let's go. That's all.
Sir, we still waiting for the food. Like,
Food?
comfort food.
No, nothing like that. I love all types of food.
All.
Yeah, but honestly, without any bias, I'm saying, I love Andhra food.
Oh.
I love Gokura. I love Gokura and your, Pappu and
Okay.
you are masters of the foodies. Basically, pickles and poddies, nobody could beat.
Yes, sir.
So that way, I like that. Over sweets, I like sour stuff.
One day we'll
I
try
prefer
it.
sours. But I want good, authentic ramen.
Yes, yes.
But one thing I don't appreciate here is your sambar and chutney. That too coming from Madras, you know what?
Yeah, for me,
The sambar and chutney in Madras are way.
I love sambar from Chennai. That's my.
That's the problem. So, okay, it's their style.
Yeah.
Again, I respect it, but I don't dig it. I mean, that's all.
Yeah.
If you give me a chance, I won't have it. That's
And then filter coffee, sir. That's
coffee, I don't drink at all. No coffee. No coffee. Even tea, I started drinking only 3 years ago because of a friend.
Okay.
We used to hunt around for tea shop. We found tea business has picked up a lot in India.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
I mean, I don't know whether thanks to Modi or not. Every corner, and we started logging, so many names,
Yeah.
Tea corner, chai wala, tea time, tea factory, tea gallery, so many things are there. There was one guy who was fantastic. He was called 89 degrees centigrade tea shop. Very interesting name, 89 degrees centigrade. So I like that, it's okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks a lot. I enjoyed. I hope you guys also enjoyed being with me. And you come, I'll play some good stuff for you. Seriously, anybody.